Hey movie junkies, welcome to another fun-filled episode of Twin Flicks, where we are always celebrating movies with you. Alright, let's get into it. So this is a video that I know a lot of you have been requesting and have been waiting for. It's finally here, and that is reviewing... Actually, Millcreek released three different movies, and I was sent all three of them. One was Crossroads, which I will review soon. Next is Blind Fury. And then they released the one that we're going to talk about today, and that is 1990's The Freshman. Now, how this video is going to work, just like my previous videos, this video will be no different. I'm going to go in and give you guys my review of the movie, my thoughts on it. Has it held up 30 years later? And then I'm going to get into the Blu-ray quality, let you guys know if Millcreek did a good job at the transfer of this, if it's worth picking up, and any kind of special features it offers. So let's get to it. The film stars Matthew Broderick as Clark, an NYC film student. After a small-time crook steals all his belongings, Clark meets Carmine, played by the late, great Marlon Brando. Which, let's face it, he's just reprising his role from The Godfather, and I'll get into that and my thoughts on that in my review. After meeting Carmine, played by Marlon Brando, Clark accepts a job working for him as Carmine takes Clark under his wing, demanding total loyalty as he finds himself caught up in a caper that he can't get out of. Now, of course, the highlight of the movie is Marlon Brando. I mean, obviously. Again, doing a reprise of his most popular character, Don Vito Corleone, from The Godfather. And he does it with such wit, discipline, and seriousness that it never feels like he's ripping it off, and it doesn't feel like a cheap shot at the character either. Instead, he understands this role, he understands the fans of the character and how important Vito Corleone is to the fans of Godfather, and also the source material. He knows how to handle it just right. Now, a little background here. The Freshman was written and directed by Andrew Bergman, who was a comedy talent in the 70s and throughout the 80s. One of his most popular films that he co-wrote was Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks. And what he's done here is he's created a comedy with a particular kind of offbeat comedy, with very little of the film being too predictable, which honestly is really hard to do, especially for a comedy. Broderick also is terrific with his comedic straight-laced timing, and Penelope Ann Miller, who I've always been a fan of, she's been one of my favorite actors, gives a really fine performance. The Freshman is a fun, offbeat, refreshing comedy that I haven't seen in about 30 years, and it still completely holds up very well today. And between Brando basically doing a retread of his most famous role, it easily could have gone very wrong in so many different ways, but director Andrew Bergman and Brando pull it off brilliantly. I'm still not sure how they did it. I'm giving The Freshman a 4 out of 5. If you have not seen Freshman, what are you doing with your life? It is really a fun, refreshing film. Alright, now let's get into the Blu-ray and see how Millcreek Entertainment handled the transfer on this. And sad to say, this is honestly... Wait, first of all, come here. Closer. Get closer. Closer. I gotta tell you something between us. Don't tell Millcreek I said this. This is just between me and you. This is one of the worst looking transfers I've seen in a long time, which is a real shame because this film deserves so much more. It deserves much better than what Millcreek has done with this transfer. I was just dumbfounded by how really bad this transfer is. I mean, right off the bat, at the very beginning of the movie, the presentation is very lackluster. The opening titles looks very flat and soft, and also really heavily compressed and poorly detailed. And it really doesn't get much better from there. The compression has a lot of issues that really kill the transfer on this. along with a fairly dull color palette, and it struggles to offer any kind of real vibrancy, giving it a real flat look. Another distraction is with the macro blocking that infiltrates every single background, and the picture quality really struggles to escape a standard definition look. I'm serious, this is an HD 1080p transfer, but it looks like it's 480p. It looks like it's standard definition. This is such a disappointment. I'm not sure why Millcreek didn't give this one a better transfer. It doesn't make any sense. This is a hugely popular movie, and honestly, I can't recommend it. Forget this. I don't want to thank Millcreek for sending this to me because the transfer sucked. And before you jump out of this video, do me a huge favor and jump down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on The Freshman. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.